In this video, you will see me struggling to paint with my left hand, slipping out of frame, and overusing transitions. But you'll also see the creation of some pretty cool Max Caulfield nails and some peel-off base coat application tips so that you can wear your nails for as long as you want, but also still be able to pop them off super easily when you're ready for some new ones. So I got pretty serious with these nails. I made a whole Google Doc. I mapped everything out. I took this photo here and actually put it into Photoshop and created this faceless portrait of it. I wanted these to look more like a sketch rather than have them be realistic, so I decided to make it a faceless portrait. The base coat I'm going to be using is the Koko Claire Base, which is a peel-off base that can be removed by soaking your nails in hot water for 10 minutes. It is designed to go underneath gel polish on natural nails, but I really wanted an easier way to remove my Gel X tips, so today I'm trying it underneath those. Now I really think I got the best of both worlds with this application because I was able to wear my nails as long as I wanted to, so I wore these for about 10 days before taking them off, and they came off super easily. I didn't have any lifting or any pop-offs in all of those days. They were on just as solid as if I didn't use a peel-off base. That being said, there definitely is a trick to applying these to make sure that happens. One of the most important things I found was having a layer of gel already on your nails before you apply the peel-off base. Here I already have a layer of clear Après Extend gel on my nails, and I found that helped the peel-off base coat really stick because gel always loves to stick to gel. Now what I'm about to do here is another really important step. So I'm taking my primer. I'm using the Young Nails Protein Bond, but I'm sure you could use any one you'd like. And I'm just applying it to the outer perimeter of the nail, not in the middle. It's especially important to focus on capping the tip, so that's what I did on all of the nails. Just apply primer to the perimeter of the nail, focusing on capping the tips. Another thing I wanted to mention was I did not buff the gel base I had on my nails before any of this. I just painted the Extend gel on and wiped off the tacky layer and proceeded. Now for the second coat of primer, I'm just going to go in and apply it to the tips. Now I'm grabbing our peel-off base and going to paint 2 thin coats on all of my nails. And here's another time where it's really important to cap the tip of every nail. And definitely don't do what I did and not wipe the brush off on the bottle. Now we can go in and apply our nails. So I'll be using the Extend gel again and taking my trusty gooseneck lamp. If you do jelly tips or Gel X or whichever, you 100% need a gooseneck lamp. it will make your life 1,000 million billion times easier. So I've already pre-sized and fit all my tips, and this is what it looks like before I put it on. So what I do is take a pretty coarse hand file. I think I used 100 or an 80 on these ones, and literally just file the heck out of them until you think you're about to file right through them. And I first just take a small amount on my brush and literally just paint it on the inside of the tip. Now the final tip I have to get these to last a really long time with this base coat is to make sure you have excess extend gel, so the gel actually goes over the tip of your nail. I know in their demo videos the goal is to try to just get it to meet the end, but if you only do it that far, water can get in and they can pop off. So again, just put excess gel, like more than you normally would, and let the gel cover the tip of your nail. So there will be a little bit on the underside, but it's important that you don't file that off. Here's what they look like when they're all applied, and here's what I mean by letting the gel kind of go over the free edge of the nail and kind of seal everything in. Again, it's really important not to file that off this time. I know sometimes people like to remove it, but I found it really helped with keeping them on the longest. So now I'm just going to take my file and file off anything that may have spilled out the sides and take the tips off of the end, and then I'm going to take a buffing block and just buff them so that none of the tips are shiny, and finally take an alcohol wipe and wipe all of that dust away. Now you all are gonna have to bear with me. This is the first time I've ever painted my nails on camera, and it is not as easy as everyone makes it look. Like, I had to go in with a cleanup brush like 48,000 times. Here's what they're looking like after 2 coats of each color. And now we can move on to the actual art. So I'm going to start on the middle finger with the faceless portrait of Max. this was definitely not my first attempt at this hair, but I'm actually surprised that I only had to redo it as many times as I did because I was painting with my non-dominant hand. Now, I wasn't 100% happy with how those bangs were looking, so I decided to just cut my losses and wipe them off. And I went back in with a smaller brush, and this is one of my all-time favorite nail art brushes that anyone can buy, and I think it was only like $12 Canadian, and it is so skinny. It makes my life so easy. But the one you see here, I actually dropped on the floor like 100 times, so some of the bristles fell out, but it actually worked to my advantage because it made the brush so skinny. It really helps when I do things like outlines. Now we're gonna give her some little freckles using this dotting tool from Amazon. And I don't know if anyone else has been able to find one this skinny, but usually all the packs I've bought have one that have like at least a small ball at the end, but this one is literally like a pin. Now we're gonna go in and outline the whole face, and there is no better duo for outlining than the Young Nails Micro Detailer and the black gel paint. finally move on to another finger where we're gonna try to do Max's t-shirt design on the index finger, but of course, due to the shape of a nail, I'm going to stack these two things rather than have them side by side like they are in the picture. Now, I am not lying when I say that these words, boy, they tested me. They did. I've probably wiped them off, like, not exaggerating, like 20 times. And the first line I did just there, I was like, excuse me, this J does not have a lid on it, so I had to restart right away, and that was just foreshadowing for the rest of these letters. Heading on over to the ring finger, we are going to try to do the time reverse symbol. Now I'm going to top coat the 3 nails we did because I am taking a break. It has been many hours So we'll seal these in so I don't mess them up, and I'll be back with the pinky and the thumb. This was my first attempt at the pinky, and I hated it. So we buffed it off, and we're gonna try it again with making it bigger and also not off-center. I think it just needed to take up more of the nail. It was too insignificant before. So I'm just gonna paint a big white square on with pure white. And here is where I go in with the color changing gel. It is a mood temperature changing gel that goes from dark gray when it's cold to kind of a light brown when it's warm. And I chose this because I wanted to make it look like it was a developing photo. That's why it kind of looks like I'm using two different colors right now, but it is one color, it's just changing color. So I actually mixed a color that was as close as I could get it to the dark gray color, so that when I put the symbol over top, it will look hidden in cold temperatures, but when it heats up, it will look like a photo has developed. We're finally on to the thumbnail. So for this one, I wanted to do the storm, so kind of like a tornado, hurricane-y kind of vibe, but I didn't really know how to do that, so I'm just kind of winging it here. I took my ombre brush and dipped it in some polish, cured it, then kind of went over it and tried to make it look like a mess, which I think worked. I think it looks cool like in the beginning, but I think I ruined it with all the details I added, because at the end I feel like it kind of just looks like a blob. Like right here it looks kind of cool, but I overdo it. This is where I tried to do lightning, emphasis on tried, because I think it just kind of looks like some spaghetti or something. I don't know, it just did not turn out. But this was supposed to be the kind of outer glow to it, and then I'm going to go back in with the same color but not mixed with clear and kind of highlight it. And I did use a glow-in-the-dark gel, so this lightning will have some light to it. And here is the finished look. Excuse my other hand's fingernails blocking the lens. I didn't notice until I put it in editor. So this is what we are working with. But I actually really love these, even though they took up what felt like half of my life. I would do it all over again. Here they are when they're cold and the Polaroid is undeveloped. And here's what they look like when they're warm and the image is shown, as well as what they look like in the dark. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you can see the other hand where I do none other than Max's best friend Chloe, as well as see how I remove the nails with the peel off base, because there is one additional step other than just putting them in the water. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.